Yo, 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 what's good? It's your boy Wilson. You watching EmceeTV The Podcast, coming at you live from EmceeTV Studios in Des Moines, Iowa. And today's extra special guest is Coldsaint. Bro, what's happening?
Hey, what's going on? Good to be on here, man.
Yeah, bro, I appreciate you taking the time and jumping on the pod with me. Um, yeah, this is pretty exciting, man. I know you've been out here rocking for a long minute. I remember back in the day, I'd see you at shows and stuff performing. But for the viewers that don't know and the people that aren't familiar with you, let's start at the beginning and kind of work our way up to present day. So give them a little background on who you are.
So my name's Cold Saint. I'm from Norwalk, Iowa. I've been making music since I was like 10 years old. How far back we going? Because there's a lot to this. um, but I do a lot of like inspirational music, introspective rap, like conscious kind of stuff. Um, yeah. What all
I
should I
like it.
say? How far? I don't know how far back you want me to go. I'll talk for like ever.
No, that's good. That's good. Um, Okay, so if you had to compare your style, everybody wants to be unique, right? So we're not saying that this is necessarily you, but if you had to compare your style to somebody to describe it, who would you say you are closest to, like in the mainstream, or somebody, somebody could on a national level, somebody would recognize?
Um, it's hard to pick just one. I get compared to Eminem all the time.
Okay,
And maybe Eminem. I feel like maybe might lean a little more towards NF. That was a big inspiration for me for sure. Do you know who that
okay.
is?
Yeah. My bad, my bad. I thought you were going to say another name, so I paused.
No,
I didn't want to interrupt. Okay, yeah. No, I got an 18-year-old. My daughter's a big fan of NF. And we were actually going to go see him in Minneapolis before he blew up. He was performing at a smaller venue, and we didn't end up making it. But yeah, yeah, she's followed his career a lot, and so I've been tapped in through her. You know what I mean, and her following him. But just as a fan of hip hop, you know what I mean. I respect what he does, and he did a track with the homie Tech Nine, and uh,
oh,
and
yeah.
so and so that was kind of cool to see him rock with somebody that is close to me, but also somebody that I respect a ton in the game. So that's huge. Uh, okay, so you've been doing it. You've been doing this for a while. How did you first get into music?
It's kind of a weird story actually. I always wanted to make music, but when it started, it was like when I was like in the single digits, like 7, 8 years old. I used to want to be like a country singer and a rocker and stuff like that. But I remember one day I have an older brother named Martin, and he was watching MTV, and I still don't know what the actual music video was, but it was some guy climbing out of a manhole, and he had like this G-Shock watch, and he was just spitting. And I was like, I want to do that. So I started freestyling. I was terrible. And then around like 12 years old, my mom got sick. Some stuff started happening, and it turned into like a real outlet for me. And then I really locked in on it and started rapping about some serious stuff.
That's dope. That's dope. I mean, obviously, that's not a good thing that your mom got sick, but that's cool that you took the pain and used it as inspiration and kind of brought it in that way.
Yeah, and to be clear, she did get better. So
Okay. All right.
she had cancer. She beat it, guys. So
Okay. Yeah. There was a little bit of a cliffhanger. I didn't know how to
yeah,
react, and
I wasn't gonna leave you on that.
I was like, oh no. I just kind of laughed and was like, no, I didn't mean to. I wasn't laughing at that. I was laughing at turning it around. But no,
No,
that's
you're
dope.
good.
Um, okay, so you're young, you start you're interested in music. The older brother kind of inspires you with stuff you're seeing on MTV. Now, at what point do you start do you got buddies that you're rhyming with, or what takes you to the next level where you're like, what I mean, you're kind of advancing the career a little more? What's the next part of the path?
Um, honestly, what like really, really locked it in for me, when I was like 14, 15, I did the talent show at my high school. That was like my first ever show. I auditioned, made it into the finals by like one vote. Like I was looking like a politician on the hallways, man. I was walking around like, vote for me, man. Like I made it in by one vote. And then at the finals, I like switched my song from this hype track to this really serious song about how I feel about the people in the crowd, how I feel about school, how I feel about home, and I won the whole thing by like a landslide. remember my science teacher, whose class I was failing, to be honest with you. I didn't think he liked me at all, but he pulled me to the side and told me he thinks I have something, and I don't know, I locked in on it from there. After that, around like 17 years old, I joined something called the Stale Movement, which stood for Starving Artists Let's Eat. It was like a weekly thing that you could do where judges came out. It's kind of like a mini voice, like The Voice or whatever.
Was that
And
something here in Iowa or was that
it,
national?
it was in Des Moines. They don't do it anymore, but me and Entre Luce were actually the only two people to graduate out of the program. There was hundreds of artists that came through, so we were pretty proud of that. But that like switched my mentality to like, oh, I'm a rapper to no, I'm a business, and like I need to look at it a certain way. And I started going to conferences, A3C, Global Music Mix, all that stuff, and started learning and being a student to the game, I guess.
I like it. I like it. Okay, so I mean, you mentioned a lot of stuff in there. So in the talent show, were you performing original music or were you just doing like a cover of somebody else's music?
It was original music. I've always done original. I've
Oh,
done some
that's dope.
remixes, but I've never done like a cover.
Okay. Well, I mean, I just figured it, at 12, 13, whatever you said you were back then, it would be unique for you to be creating your own music even at that level. So that's impressive. That's impressive.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. Okay, so this is something that piqued my interest, I guess. The name Cold Saint, where did it come from? And just because I am not very religious, is it religious based? Because I did notice you got the crucifix, and there's a crucifix in the logo too. So
So yeah, the crucifix and the logo. I mean, it's just like it's subliminal because I am a pretty diehard Christian, but the Cold Saint like brand and everything is not like this Christian rapping brand. I just happen to be a Christian, and I think God should be included in all the things I do. But Cold Saint was actually created when I was 12. Not a super interesting story, but my real name's Noah St. John, and so I was trying to include my last name, and I was walking my dog, and I was trying to come up with the rap name, and it was super cringe. I was like Dr. Saint, Young Saint, Little Saint, like all the most rapper names you could think of. And then I was like, holy cow, it's cold outside because this is Iowa in the middle of the winter, and I'm like, ooh, Cold Saint.
I can relate today, man. It's a cold one out there.
Oh yeah,
Um, okay, no, I like it. I like it. It's practical. It's logical, and it's a good look.
thank you.
Yeah. So you developed that yourself. That's kind of cool.
I did. Yeah, I mean the name itself developed its own meaning later on, but at first it just sounded cool. But now the cold represents so my whole brand's tragedy to triumph, meaning 10% of the problem is the problem itself, 90% of it's how you handle it. I think you can take your pains and turn them into wins. And so cold represents the tragedy, saint represents the triumph. But it didn't mean that right away. Now it
Okay.
does.
I dig that. I dig that. I've kind of evolved with a lot of the stuff that I've done over here as well. Um, I started off going by that motherfucker Steve. That is tough to brand. That's tough to brand. You know what I mean?
Little
Like
bit, little bit.
you can't run commercials on Nickelodeon going, "Hey, what's up? It's your boy that motherfucker Steve, and we're doing the slime challenge today." So yeah,
I
and then
think everybody would have loved it, but
yeah,
the
I
TV
mean,
would not have.
yeah, yeah. It's tough to sell that. So eventually that evolved into just Wilson. So last name, very similar concept. Um, and and then I was kind of doing it as in rap battles, and you know what I mean. When you got a name like Wilson, you can just talk about your balls all day. So, uh, um, okay. So, all right. So you're rocking talent shows now. You said you knocked it out the park, and the talent show kind of gave you the confidence to take it serious. And then you said you took it after the science teacher gave you a little love. You decided it was time to step up things, and you started going to conferences and things like that. What I feel like there's probably a little gap in there. And I heard Entree, so, and I feel like I remember you working with Bo back in the day, if I'm correct. So, how do you make that transition to rocking stages? There's a lot of stages we used to have, and unfortunately, RIP, we've lost a lot of them around here lately. Java Joe's, House of Bricks, um, that the Muse. You know what I mean? But so how do you make the transition to those next stages and potentially linking up with Bo James and different people like that?
Um, yeah, so Bo actually ran the stale program.
Okay.
That was his thing. And then he kind of worked with me and Entree for a while after that. Taught us some stuff and taught us about conferences. Brought us around some like-minded people. And then we kind of took some initiative and started doing a bit of traveling. I think my first one was A3C out in Atlanta. And that was kind of eye-opening for me.
You and Entree did that together, or you just jumped on a plane and flew out there solo?
I jumped on a plane, flew out there solo. It was just
Props.
me and a video guy. His name was Kofi, and he was
Oh, I
documenting
know
the whole thing.
Kofi.
You know
Yeah,
Kofi?
yeah, we worked together down at the Lightroom. Me and Kofi go way back, bro.
Yeah, Kofi's cool, man. He's
Yeah,
fun to
Kofi's
he's
my
fun
he
to bring
lives in
around as
North
well.
Carolina now. Shout out to Kofi. That's my
Oh, shout
dog.
out Kofi. What up, man? I've also brought Kofi to Thailand for that tour. That video you
Okay.
see on my website at coldsaint.com, the top one, Kofi did that.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Don't get too far ahead of us now. We gotta work our way up
My
to
bad, my
Thailand.
bad. I talk
I'm,
a lot.
I'm just messing with you, bro. It's your story. You tell it how you want. But I am excited to hear about Thailand. Um, that's dope as hell, though. I had no idea that you knew Kofi. Kofi and I have filmed a lot of stuff together. He used to help me when we'd throw shows down at. Not to make this all about Kofi, but he'll love this. Um, he used to help me a lot when me and him and RJ would throw stuff down at Lefties in different places. He would come in and help me set up cameras, and me and Kofi had a lot of late nights down at the Lightroom and in the Barnum factory working on music together and editing video. And
You talking about RJ Collier?
yeah,
RJ is dope.
yeah, that's my bro. He mixed and mastered the first album we put together, Back to Bars Volume 1. And then we went out to New York and shot the music videos for it. I edited all that. And that was, I mean, me and RJ go back to 2009. And so we've been rocking together for a long time. We would link up, work together for a few years, and then something else would happen. And I was kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out for a long time. But then I made a full, like, all right, it's time to lock in. And RJ and I had a studio together down at the Barnum factory where a lot of, I mean, he was when I officially started doing this as a podcast, he was the one that the first couple episodes is with.
Oh, that's
So
wild.
yeah,
So I guess we both live in the Des Moines area, but small world. Small.
yeah, for sure, for sure. Um, okay. So there we go. I just got a notification. Bitcoin is above 91,000. We're winning today, folks. Uh,
Let's go.
yes. All right. So you and Kofi jump on a plane. You go out to A3C. How old are you at this point?
I think I was 17.
That's wild, bro. You're so and
Sure,
you're
was either 17 or 19. It was definitely teen though. It was.
okay. Okay. What were your parents' thoughts on this? Were they cool with
Oh,
it?
I mean, they're both cool with it. They've always known how serious I was about music. I mean, I used to get in trouble in school for writing in the back of class. Like it was, they know. So my mom, she was always super supportive. My dad, he didn't like care for hip hop. He's more of like a divorced dad rock kind of guy. But like Hinder and Nickelback and stuff like that. But he's supportive as well. They've both been pretty cool with me about my music stuff. So.
That's cool. Yeah, my parents were not real cool. I started getting in a lot of trouble. And my dad took a bunch of like my CDs and broke them with a hammer and was like, "You're done. You're done."
Yeah, my stepdad was like that.
He wasn't having it.
No.
Um, okay, so you're out at A3C, AC3, I don't know what it is.
A3C. I always get mixed up. I'm pretty sure it's A3C.
Okay, yeah, out in Atlanta. That had to have been wild.
Oh, it was crazy.
Did you who all did you network with? Not to get too sidetracked, but who all did you network with out there? I mean, I know they have
Um,
huge celebrity performances and stuff like that.
I remember chopping it up with Amina Diop, and some of like Adele's team was there. Not Adele herself, but her team, which is cool.
Hell yeah.
Some of the like YouTube executives for like the YouTube music team was there, and that was pretty sweet. And then James Prince, which was actually crazy. You know James Prince, right?
From Rap a Lot?
Yeah. So he was there, and not to get super sidetracked, but he was like, he was having a panel. And I remember I was told when I went there to do this, and they were like, when he's speaking to that whole crowd of people, I want you to get up and I want you to ask him to mentor you. And I was like, okay. And so in front of like 400 people in the room, I get up and I'm like, I raised my hand. He's like, if you want to ask a question, you got to buy a book. So I run across the room. I go and buy a book. And then I'm sitting at the front of the
Oh,
audience.
that's
And
awesome.
I'm like, hey, I bought my book. And he's like, all right, what you want? I'm like, I want you to mentor me. And he was all like, now, why should I mentor you? And I said, I'm the hungriest rapper in Iowa. He's like, that's quite the bold claim you got there. And I said, I looked around and I was like, who else here is from Iowa? And not a single hand went up at A3C. And he was all like, all right. And the dude came and talked to me behind his booth and gave me his contact and stuff. Not much really ended up coming from it, but it was an interesting time for me, and I was super nervous to do that.
That's cool though. So okay, was it Jay Prince or was it Jay Prince Jr.? Like, was it his son or the original founder of Rap a Lot, or do you know?
I believe it was the original.
Okay,
He was
because
an older guy,
yeah,
so
his son went on to take over for him now, and so I just didn't know. You know what I mean? At what point in the transition it was.
yeah, I'm pretty sure it was just regular James Prince.
That's that's Houston. That's Houston royalty right there. I mean, that's huge. That's huge. That's cool.
Yeah, it was wild.
Hell yeah. Okay. All right. So you're soaking up all this game. You're out there. Did life change immediately when you left A3C, or did you come back and you were like, all right, I got some motivation. I'm excited. What do I do with it? How do I apply it?
Um, it I mean, it definitely changed. One of the biggest reasons I was doing these things is because Iowa is like one of the last places that see things in the industry, and so like we get things last. We all know this, and so it's good to just kind of be out there where it's happening and talking to people so people know you exist. And I think that was big for me because then I made a lot of connections while I was there, and I shook a lot of hands. I think that was the biggest thing for me. Of course, I sat down and I learned a lot of stuff about like marketing yourself and how a real brand works and stuff. Like I have a computer just full of notes from those conferences, and I've been applying those kind of things every single day. And now when I need to do something, like when I got a budget for a song, I know who to contact, which has been pretty nice. So I would say it changed immediately. Uh, just especially my viewpoint on how everything works. So
Yeah, it's kind of cool. It's a I would compare that to I've been to a couple of those conferences, but more so just and now you can watch a lot of that stuff on YouTube without actually having to travel. But back then, I'm sure the YouTube wasn't as developed and the content wasn't flowing into it as much. But it's kind of like watching the behind the scenes of a movie, because after you watch a couple of those, like you don't view movies the same anymore. You're like, oh, I know how they got that shot, or I know how they do this. You know what I mean? And so then, like, some of the secrets, at least you can maybe you can't, you don't know the cheat code per se, but you can kind of wrap your mind around how things are accomplished a little more.
oh yeah, yeah, I get
Yeah.
that.
Um. Okay. So you come back. You're like 17, 19. You got a little more fuel in the tank. The passion's burning. When do you jump into this? At this point, have you jumped into the studio? Are you recording anywhere here in Des Moines, or?
I've always just self-recorded. I mean, I got my booth is literally in this room right here.
Okay.
But even when I was younger, I was recording on a little snowball mic with Audacity, I think, and then I moved up
Yeah.
to GarageBand, and now I'm on Ableton. So always self-recorded. I've done a couple of sessions in other people's studios, just when I was like invited, but typically at home.
Okay. I like it. I like it. And then who does your beat production?
A guy named Messiah IV out in Colorado makes almost all my beats. I've also worked with Raini Beats on one incoming project, actually.
Okay. Cool. And is the cat out in Colorado? Is that somebody that you've worked with like since the early days, or is that?
Yeah, that's my best friend, actually. We grew up together since we were like 12.
Oh,
So
dope.
I watched him start to make his beats.
Okay. So you guys kind of learned how the game works together, essentially.
Yeah, yeah, a little bit.
That's dope. That's dope. I love it. Okay, so all right, so take me where do we go from here, bro? What uh what do you what do you do next? What comes along? So you're back in Iowa. Do you start filming any music videos or anything, or where does life take you next? Are you still working a nine to, obviously you're still working a 9 to 5, right? You're only like 19.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was a bartender and a waiter at 804 Main in Norwalk. That was kind of what I was doing for a few years. After that, I was a repairman for like 5 years, so I worked on houses.
Okay.
So it's I was definitely still working, that's for sure. I but I was always making my music videos and whatnot. I think around 19, man, what was I working on? I think I was working on my No Time track. I feel
Okay.
like that's right. I'm not sure. Time is a blur, man. Holy cow.
It really is.
But yeah, I was always trying to do all sorts of production stuff. So
And then as far as music videos, do you handle a lot of that yourself as well?
I write the storyboards for them. I co-direct. Typically, I'm really wanting the input from whoever's doing my video, just because I don't like pride myself in my video skills. So I typically just bounce ideas back and forth after I already get the bones of the project made.
Okay.
Uh, but yeah, I've worked with what was Eli Fox. Eli, he's pretty cool.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
he's got a spot down at the bar, or used to be down at the Barnum Factory.
Yeah, yeah, it was cool. He's really good at what he does too.
Yeah.
And then I worked with Stang Films. He's awesome. Holy cow, he did my Raps Gone Country music video.
Okay.
I just did a music video out in Thailand, and then I did one in Bulgaria. And a guy in Thailand was a Russian guy I made friends with while I was out there, who was living in Bangkok, and he did the Stuck in Traffic music video. I never get to shout out Daniel that often, so shout out Daniel for doing the Stuck in Traffic video.
Okay. Hell yeah, that's what's up. Shout out Daniel. We're going international with this one, baby. Um, okay. You know, it actually, my little brother is he goes to Thailand a lot. He's stationed in South Korea, and he is dating a young lady from Thailand, and so he said nothing but good things about Thailand. So Thailand seems like it's a cool country, but before we get ahead of ourselves too much, we got to get to Thailand. We got to earn Thailand. Uh, all right, so let's keep the story going. All right, so you're um, I know at one point you were rocking with Scott Lampkins and doing some shows with those guys around here in Des Moines and stuff like that. So keep me going. How do we get to more performances, and where does life take you, and where does the career take you from here?
Oh man, well, around I was working with Bo, Clinton McElwee, some Scott Lampkins as well. I think after that, around 19, I started like throwing my own stuff, and I became my own promoter for certain things. So I threw some Coldsaint headlining shows. I think my first one was actually in 2019 when I would have been 19, and that was at Lefties. Rest in
Shout
peace,
out
Lefties.
lefties.
They're gone.
Yeah,
That sucked.
yeah, that's
but
painful.
but yeah, now I started throwing my own gigs, and I mean it went really well. They're still going well. Um,
Does
it's
Norwalk have a performance venue?
no,
Not to cut you off.
no,
Okay,
unfortunately.
I was trying to remember if there was a spot out there.
They do have Norwalk Music Fest, which I've been a part of a couple of times. I headlined that twice, and that was a lot of fun. Norwalk Music Fest is lit. So,
Okay,
and then I also performed on their. This is super random, but I performed on their Fourth of July floats, which is something I never thought I'd be doing. I had a Coldsaint float. I
okay,
think I did it like 4 times, but we started the high
nice.
school, and I would just I'd ratchet strap some speakers to the trailer, and then I'm just rapping going through the Fourth of July parade. It was so random, but it was a
That's
lot of
cool
fun.
though. That's a milestone in a young man's career.
Yeah, that actually was segued my way into my first sponsor.
Okay,
Well, one of my first like continuous sponsors. My first sponsor was 804 Main, the place I worked at. But like one of the ones that I actually built a real like business relationship with was the Norwalk shop. They met me from the Fourth of July parades, and they started doing all the Coldsaint gear for years until he switched ownership, unfortunately. But yeah, that was one of my first like actual business ventures, which is kind of cool.
yeah, that's dope. That's dope. Okay, okay, so we've talked about Thailand a little bit. There's been some hints. What what provoked the international performances and tours and stuff like that, and how do you get to that? Get us up there.
I got invited out through a friend that invited me out in 2019. They were in need of a rapper for this festival. This festival was like a cultural exchange thing. So they brought out all these different countries, and I was coming out to represent American hip hop. and I mean that was insane. So that was my first time. It was like as soon as we got to Thailand, it was like as soon as you hit the soil, you're like a celebrity because you're a rapper who flew out from America. They don't even have to know who
Really?
you are. Yeah, it was instant. It was crazy.
Did you
I didn't
have
even
some
realize it.
did you have some songs that were, like, blowing up at the time that
No,
kinda caught their attention, or
nope, they had no idea who I was when I got there. I
it's
got there,
just a
I
white
rapped
guy?
at one show, and they were like, "Oh, this guy's like Eminem." Like, a few people thought I was Eminem. They were like, "You're Eminem." I'm like, "No, I'm Cold Saint." And, but then my name started, like it just I'm telling you, it spread like a wildfire out there. We showed up to, do you know, Brad Thompson?
That name sounds familiar.
Well, he was with me for this, and we show up to
Oh,
this,
I do know Brad, yeah.
Brad's awesome. And he came with us to Thailand. And we were in this nightclub and like just celebrating being in Thailand. And it was dead when we got there. And then, like 20 minutes after we get there, this place just packs with people. And I still didn't get it. I was all like, "Oh, we showed up at a good time." Yeah, that was like, but, and we ended up hanging out for a while there. And then we went to leave, and the owner's like, "Don't leave. You're bringing us business. You guys get free table, yada yada." This, I'm like, "Oh, they're here for us." Like, so we were like super popular there. It was crazy. I mean, there's people out in Thailand that's got my name tattooed on them now. Like, it
Wow.
was nuts. A really good time. I actually just got. I've been getting reached out to them here recently to go back again. So
That's cool. And so, okay, so now this festival, they took care of all the accommodations and stuff? They flew you out, they covered the hotel and the food and stuff like that? Or how does that all not to get
th-
too into your business.
Oh, you're good. They cover all of the like expenses as soon as I touch the ground in Thailand. So they don't take care of my flight. However, I had sponsors at the time that was taking care of my flight. So I'd
Okay.
go around, I'd shop sponsors and be like, "Hey, this is what I got going on." And a lot of them were happy to throw 100, $200 my way, and it all stacked up. So everything ended up getting taken care
Okay, because I'm thinking a flight's gotta
of.
be I think I had a flight to South Korea, didn't end up going, but I bought the ticket and I didn't realize I needed a different visa to get into South Korea at that point in time. And um, I think my ticket was like 2,500 bucks or something like that. So not to
Yeah.
mention, I think it was 18 hours in the sky, which was a little bit of a mental fuck for me because I was just like, oh, I don't know if I could sit on a plane for 18 hours. That's a lot.
Oh gosh, so that flight to Thailand, that was like one of my first like other than Atlanta, that was my other like that second flight I think I ever took, I think.
Oh,
But
wow.
either way, I hated planes at the time. I hated them. I was terrified of them.
Yeah.
Now, if I die, I die. All right, I gotta get there. So it's like, but at the
Said I'm not
time I
walking and I'm
couldn't
not
sleep.
driving.
I was going through airports and flights for like 22 hours if you counted everything, and I didn't sleep the entire time because I couldn't fall asleep. And so by the time I got to Thailand, I'm like passing out on the bus. It was
Do you
wild.
drink? Did you drink on the plane at all or
Well, at the time I was 19, so I couldn't.
ah,
I No, yeah. N No, I think I had 1 beer in Thailand because Brad insisted,
okay.
and in Thailand, they don't care, and so it was
Sure.
like he's like, "Have a beer with me," and I was like, "I don't want a beer," I'm like, "Beer tastes like pee, dude," and like, he's like, "It's not about drinking the beer, it's about having a cold one with the boys because 'cause we're on the other side of the world," and I'm like, "Alright, you motivated me," so I had 1 beer in
It's a
Thailand.
John Wayne speech. I love it though. That's awesome. That's awesome. Um, okay, so that's huge. I saw a lot of the footage. I saw a lot of the people. I mean, yeah, like you said, the people embraced you. I mean, they were all about Cold Saint, and it looked epic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. We had a good time. I mean, and that tour there actually is what segued into these other ones too. So it was I shook all the hands I was supposed to shake, and now it's just as simple as like reaching out to one of them and then going, hey, how do I make this happen? And I got enough friends in certain places that they can pull strings, which is pretty nice. Or I get invited. Like literally this morning, I got a text from the Indonesian board for their festivals asking me to come out to Selassie or something like that. So pretty
That's
cool.
dope. Okay, so do you off of the Thailand thing, were you able to parlay that? I mean, if you after you fly 22 hours, I feel like that's the kind of the more expensive part of getting over there. Can you island hop and line up a couple more shows to, you know what I mean? So you don't just have to fly right back, or do you come right back to the US?
I have been coming right back. It's funny you say that because I'm actually in the middle of working out something like that. So I'm talking with like some radio station to try to get some airplay all out there so I can, hit different spots. And while I've been out there these last couple times, I've been going to spots and talking to venues and stuff and making some connections. So
Okay.
I am in the process of making that happen. But so far, every time I've gone, I just go out there, I do their 9 or 10 shows or whatever it is they got, and then I just go home.
Okay. How long what's the longest you've spent out there? Are you there for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks?
Thailand was 3 weeks this last time I went, which was a long time.
Okay. And how many
But
times have you been so far?
I've been to Thailand twice, and Indonesia once, and Bulgaria once.
Okay. Whew, that's awesome. That's awesome. International. That's a huge accomplishment, bro.
Yeah, thanks. It's definitely been crazy. Like you don't realize how big the world actually is until you fly over there too. So
Yeah.
it's been eye opening in both the musical sense and just life in general. So
Do you have a team now that you take every time, or is it just kind of who's available?
it's just kind of who's available. I mean, to be honest with you, I've
It's a
been
big commitment.
I've been rolling solo dolo for couple years now. I just kind of run everything. I am in the works of bringing on some people. I just brought on a photographer and a videographer that I'm using consistently now, and we set something up. So I don't know if you know Cody McKinney, but he's running video with me now, and then
Oh yeah, he does
girl
a
with
lot
the
of stuff with
camera.
the homie Chris Calico.
Yes, he does. Yep.
Yeah.
So him, and then a girl named Beth out in Cedar Rapids. She goes by Girl with the Camera. She's been doing some of my photos for me. So I did bring on 2 people. I am talking to a marketing agent as well, and I got a guy that wants to manage me, but that's still up in the air. So
Okay. Cool, man. That's huge. That's exciting to see, somebody from our own backyard kind of growing and developing his career and his craft and stuff and taking it international. That's huge.
yeah, thank you. I'm trying, man. So
Hell yeah. Okay, so let's talk music a little more. How many total projects do you got out right now?
I should know this off the top of my head. Oh man. And I can find out. Hold
It's,
on.
it's easier for me to ask than me to say a number that I think is right and count it wrong. So I've always found it's easier to ask the artist instead of me going, you have 3 projects out, right? Because then they go, bro, we have 5. You missed 2 projects. Come on, do your homework, homie.
I've got
Uh,
like I think I've got like 15,
okay,
something like that. Maybe 11, 12, at least 12.
okay, all right. We'll just roll with that. You ain't got to be or too specific. You know what I mean? Um, okay. So, and if people want to dig in on your music, are you on all platforms or?
Yeah, I'm on everything. You just
Okay.
look up Cold Saint, you'll find me. And if you're trying to find everything, coldsaint.com has everything on it. So,
Okay. I was on there this morning. That was how I got to the I wanted to make sure I was there's another guy that has the name Cold Saint, but he spaces it out. And um and I ended up there originally when I was trying to queue up some music this morning and I was like, oh no. And so I just wanted to make sure I was on the right one.
I didn't know there was a spaced out Cold Saint.
There
Was
oh
it a SoundCloud link you checked out?
it was on YouTube Music, I want to say.
Huh.
I was just trying to find it again. I found it on my phone. I'll send it to you later when I get off. Um, and yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was you. It was just the way it was. That's why when we got on here originally, I verified that it was all one word, just to make sure that it was um, that I did it correctly. But
I think I found
oh,
it.
okay.
Yeah, he has some interesting stuff on here. Yeah.
um, yeah. So make sure you get the right Cold Saint because it's not that. I don't know anything about the other fella, but that's not the one that we're talking to.
It's one
Uh,
word, y'all.
One word. It's just all one. Okay, all right. So, do you got some? Are you in the studio now? Are you writing new music? Are you recording new music?
I am actually so the last song I did was called Myself Again, which was kind of like this introspective song that talked about like not missing the person you were, but like missing the perspective you had. This next song kind of looks more forward. It's I've been doing a lot of like in-depth thinking and getting stuck in my head. I've been thinking about all like how like music, the way I got into music was like this survival mode kind of thing, and I wanted to fight with music, if that made sense. And I think as I'm getting older, I'm learning that I don't want to fight everything. And so this next song talks about fighting the right fights. That's my next track that we've been working on.
Okay. Sorry, I was joining the chat with my other device over here. That way we got a couple of different active
Yeah.
users in here.
I did try to join it. I can't find it.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. No biggie.
Alright. That's
Um,
why I kept looking down at the beginning.
yeah, no, you're all good. I just didn't want you to think I was texting my girlfriend in the middle of our interview. So I don't want my wife to think that either. So
Yeah,
um, no, I'm just messing around. But okay, so new music. How about features? Do you collab with a lot of other artists, or do you kind of stick to doing your own thing?
I've collabed with some, like Entree Luce and I got a track, Tona Boss and I got a track, Classic and I got a track, Alex and I got a track. I typically just kind of do things on my own, but I mean, I'm not like against features. I don't know. I like being in control creatively, or whatever the word is. I'm trying to say.
Creatively?
So, creatively, yeah, that.
It's all good.
So I don't know. So it just depends. Like if it works out really well, then I'll do a collab. But
Okay.
I don't chase it really typically.
If uh if you were to collab with somebody in the industry and music and money is not an option, right? You got the budget for it. Who you picking? Give me three. Give me three.
Oh, three.
Yeah.
All right. So NF is definitely on the bucket list. All right.
Okay.
I've been a huge fan of that guy since I was a little kid. Um, Hobson, I would love a feature with Hobson. I know he's gone right now. Nobody knows where he is. But when he comes back, I'm gunning for it.
You know, that's funny you said Hobson because wasn't he in Thailand when you were in Thailand?
Was he?
I
I'm
think he
pretty sure he
was.
was. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he might be there now. There's rumors that he's there now.
Okay.
But I don't know. The dude just disappeared. But him, and then probably, I mean, Eminem would be pretty cool. That would
Yeah.
be cool.
And that dude's so elusive. He's one you can't even just buy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
no, that's why I was like hesitant to say it, and I don't know if that's all that realistic, but
oh no, I mean that's cool though. That's cool. You know what I mean? Like, um, yeah, that's exciting. That's exciting. Um, okay. How about dream producers? Dream collab producers.
dream producers. Ooh, I don't know. Um, I guess man, I'm not like super savvy with the producer names, but
You're all good.
Hinterland, right? Hinterland.
Hit boy.
Hippo, no, who am I thinking of? Well, obviously Dr. Dre would be dope.
Okay.
And then, gosh, why can't I think of this dude's name? I'm not even gonna say it now. It's gonna make me look bad. I didn't know his name.
My bad. I put you on the spot. I
No,
put you on
you're
the
good.
spot. Uh, oh, Timberland.
Timberland, yes, yeah,
Okay.
Timberland would be cool.
All right. No, that's dope. That's dope. Um, man, if I could dream producer collab, DJ Premier, I think I'd go with him. I think I'd go Alchemist. Um, and definitely Dre. I mean, Dre was the one that kind of started it all for me. You know, I'm 41 and I didn't think about that. You see, I slowed down when I got to the number. I was like, am I 41? I'm 41. I think the coffee's not. I got diet coffee or something. It wasn't fully flowing at the moment. Um, but no, I think that Dre is the one that really started it all for me. I had that Chronic out. I had the Chronic cassette. Back when BMG used to do like 10 CDs for a penny or whatever, my mom signed me up for that. Had no idea what the hell I chose. And all of a sudden, Too Short started rolling in. Dr. Dre started rolling in. I had the Fooshnickens. I had the Jungle Brothers. I had so many hip hop albums. And it was like out of the back of the Parade magazine or whatever. And Columbia House did it and BMG did it, and they were just basically like these record labels that you could get, or record labels would do deals with them and to get their music out, and you could get this essentially 10 CDs for a penny, and then you had to buy 3 more CDs or cassettes. Most people just said they changed their address and they said, he doesn't live here anymore, and nobody would buy them, and so they just robbed them blind, and I think that's why they went under. But for my birthday, my mom could tell how big I was into music, and so she got me that when I was 12, maybe 11, and I think it was my 12th. Nah, I got hit by a car when I was 12. It was before that. I think it was my 11th birthday. She got it for me. And anyways, I got the Chronic and a bunch of other albums, and I had them on cassette. They didn't have CDs out quite. I mean, CDs were out, but they weren't. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't have a CD player. I was still walking to school listening to "Creeping on a Come Up" on a cassette player. You know what I mean? The Sony Walkman. Um, so, anyways, I went off on a tangent there a little bit. But Dr. Dre was the one that set it off for me. Timberland was insane and very experimental and very influential back then too. So he was huge for me. And the stuff that he did with Bubba Sparks, and I wasn't as deep in the trenches as on the Justin Timberlake stuff, but he was just iconic, and the sound that the Timberland's Beat Club was making was wild. And then Alchemist has definitely had the boom bap sound cornered for a long time, and he's been number one. So um, that was a long explanation, but that would be where I'd go with it.
Yeah, I mean, you
Um,
got some good picks in there, that's for sure.
yeah, thank you,
Did
thank
you
you.
not to get off track? Did you say you got hit by a car?
I got hit by a cop car when I was a little kid. I was in a coma and stuff for a while.
What?
Yeah, I got flown in a life flight helicopter, and I got a bald head now, but they were in the process of shaving my head to drill into the back of my skull when I came to. I was like, "What
Holy,
is going on?"
what? Dude, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, it was wild, bro. It was definitely a life changing experience.
I bet. Holy cow.
Yeah, so
Well, glad you're still here.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Yeah, not everybody gets a second chance, and not to make it all about me or anything, but when they put me in the back of the ambulance, my parents were standing there because they showed up to the scene and they were like, "What's going on?" And they were like, "Holy shit, that's our kid!" And they told my parents, "You should say goodbye now because he's probably not going to make it." And then they put
Jeez.
me in the back of an ambulance, and yeah, ended up flying me from where I lived at in Wyoming to Salt Lake in a helicopter, and took me to like a top surgeon medical center, and yeah, it was pretty wild, dude.
Holy cow. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, definitely, definitely a wild. I've been working on writing a rhyme to kind of tell the story, but it's a tough one to kind of like encompass into a rhyme and still make it fun. You know what I mean? Like, um, and so I've came at it a couple of different ways, a few different times, and then I'm like, it's whack. That's whack. Tear it up, throw it away. You know, I'm coming. I'm gonna try again. I'm gonna try again. So eventually, I'll get that. That'd be the magnus opus. You know what I mean? That'd be the one for me. Like, all
Yeah,
right, I
let me know when you
finally
do.
encompass this wild tale of getting hit by a parked cop car. Um, and there we go. Maybe I'll get Alchemist to produce it.
Yeah, maybe. Tell him the story. He might be moved.
Like, this kid's a liar. This kid's insane. Shit never happened. Okay, all right. So what's next for Cold Saint? I know you got Ritz coming up. We should definitely mention that.
Yeah, I do have a rich show. I'm not allowed to announce it yet. No,
Ooh,
like
just kidding.
I can.
Just kidding.
I mean, I could say I'm opening for him, but I'm not allowed to say when. But yeah, that's gonna be pretty cool. I talked to a promoter from the area. His name's Justin. He helped me hook that up, and then I got that coming up. I got Peoria Fashion Week. I'm doing that, I think, in April. I'm going to perform on, I think last time I did it, I performed on the runway with models walking, which was really interesting. I've never done that before. I
Okay.
think I'm just doing a regular showcase this time, but I'm prepared for either. I felt like I had to like bob and weave the whole time. But got that coming up. Looks like I'm working on another Indonesia tour. And then I got the new song coming up too. Um, Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to stay busy, trying to work on longevity and not chase like hype moments, if that makes sense. I've been really focused on that recently. So
Okay. I like that. I like that. You know what I mean? And now, is that do you feel like it's a different, is that a different take on how you write music, or is that just, you know what I mean? Like, you don't want to write about, this isn't really your style, but rap beefs, you know what I mean? Like, oh, everybody's in rap beefs right now. There was the Kendrick and Drake big beef, you know what I mean? So in terms of not chasing a hype moment, like, you wouldn't start a rap beef, like, to, or like,
I wouldn't start one for the sake of doing it.
sure,
I mean, if I had to, I will. But like I guess what I mean is like I don't want to like chase trends or like just like I don't want
topic,
to like
top,
chase like I don't want to like buy like a package that gets me 100,000 streams and then like something like that to make me look good. I'm trying to work on like just building a core following and like really touching the right demographic. Like I'm trying to find people that are like me that listen to the music. Like I like how NF does it. I love how he works with his audience and like he knows his niche. I'm trying to work on that, and I'm also trying to like not just like be in your face all the time with like my posts. Like I'm trying to do it a certain way that just kind of shows what the music's all about and try to explain the brand to people and what the message really is and just hit it the right way without being like look at me like kind of thing, you know?
yeah.
If that makes sense. I don't know how to word it properly, but
No,
it's
I dig it. So yeah, and you want to be more purposeful with your posting instead of just posting just to create content.
exactly, yeah. I'm trying to be really intentional about everything. I've been working on this brand for a long time, and I don't know. The older I get, the more I'm like focusing on how do I make this be a full life thing and not, burn it out. So
Okay, I dig that. I dig that. Um, okay, so 2026 sounds like it's going to be a big year. I mean, you're going to do some more international travel. You're going to be dropping some new music, and you got a lot on your plate.
yeah, man, I'm trying to drop a song once a month. Every month on the first, a new song drops, y'all. So
Okay, is that a do you write pretty quick at this point in the career, or does it take you a while usually? Or
I write pretty quick. I mean, I do a lot of brainstorming in the car, to be honest with you.
me too.
I do that, or like I just sit down in my room and well, right here really, and I just play the beat on repeat a million times and just keep writing. It doesn't take me long anymore. Like I'm really picky though, like how you said, oh no, that's whack, toss it. I do that a lot, and maybe that hinders the speed a little bit. But I once I get something written, it's pretty easy for me to get it put together. I just learned how to like properly master as well, so now that's in house, which is pretty nice.
Nice.
So,
Okay. Um, okay. All right. So one more time, tell everybody where they can find you. It's just Cold Saint, right? I mean, Cold Saint
it's just
everywhere.
Cold Saint. Cold Saint, one word. You can find me at coldsaint.com, Cold Saint on Facebook. I mean, technically it's Cold Saint official on Instagram, but you look up Cold Saint, I'm coming up. So
Okay.
you find me anywhere, Cold Saint.
Perfect. Perfect. And I mean, if you're in Thailand, tap in because he's gonna be on a stage near you, maybe a couple stages near you. It sounds like.
We typically do multiple every time we leave the country, at least like 6 to 10, something like that. So stay tuned, man. If you're overseas watching this, I might be coming to you.
Heck yeah, heck yeah. All right, bro. I look forward to linking up with you again here in the near future. We'll definitely have to have you back on for sure after Thailand. I gotta hear more stories about rocking international and kicking it out there. And maybe we'll even bring on Capo Beats, who's been to Thailand numerous times. That's my little brother that's out there in South Korea. He's very familiar, and who knows, he may even pop up at one of your shows and high five you, bro.
Hey,
Um,
that'd be pretty cool.
yeah. So I might have to link you guys together depending on when your trip is. But anyways, all right, man. As always, it's your boy Wilson from MCTV. I appreciate everybody tuning, liking, commenting, sharing, and participating in the podcast today. And today's extra special guest is.
Cold Saint, man. Thanks for having me. It's good to be on the show, and much love, y'all.
All right, y'all. We out. Thank you so much. Peace.
Been known to snatch a piece or two. Y'all can't take over cause we gon' eat the you. Rock steady like a ginger brought Aretha through. This shit torture and I'ma keep feeding you. On that East Coast shit, y'all better duck down. Price on his dome, 5 on it like yuck mouth. When the plug get knocked, that's when the price jump. American Nightmare, that's where the Spice won. Rappers running like Ricky in the alleyway, putting an end to the week, no Saturday. They want static, get it shaking like Cassius Clay. Passionate thugs mixing Douce with Alizé.
Don't play with us, them moves ain't got you safe enough. Yellow fuck 'em like Smokey off the angel dust. My life so real, sounds like I made it up. Been up so long, I don't remember waking up. Dangerous, sharper than a razor's touch. We hit that strip and get the caking up. God hate ugly, so ain't no saving us. Been up so long, I don't remember waking up.
Big balls don't